In this video, I'm going to go through a demonstration of some of the changes we've made on our charts that have X and Y axes. There's a bunch of changes, so there'll be multiple videos, but in order to better describe what's going on, I'm going to do a comparison. So we have a chart here that is in the version 2.0 of VividCharts, and then we have a version here with a different theme and everything that is in version 1.10, which came out in February of 25. So we'll start looking at a few of those major differences that are in the 2.0 release. So the first thing you'll notice when you come in is that if you have a chart like this, a common problem, if you go into the style menu, is that I want to change the sizes of my labeling. So we have the data labels option, and here we have data values turned on, so you see the numbers above the bars here. But we have orientation. So let's say I wanted these to be horizontal on the y-axis. If I clicked horizontal, you can see that it also made my x-axis horizontal. If I make it vertical, it makes the y-axis vertical. So they work together, and so as maybe a compromise, we use this diagonal look, which isn't really probably what we wanted. So that's one problem that has come up. Now the other thing is, potentially I want to have bigger values here. So I want these labels to be larger. I can go to font size, and we'll just say we'll make it something I can read, which is like 28. Now the issue is my data values are starting to overlap a little bit because they also have the same font size as the X and Y axes. So they all share the same settings. So again, it's not ideal. It'd be nice to be able to separate those out. The good news is, starting in 2.0, you can. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. Let's go over to 2.0. It's a little bit more sparse chart, but if I go into the settings and go to style, you can see we have the same menu options, but when I click open the data labels option, I could turn these on or off just as I could before. But now notice we have a data values section, we have a y-axis section, and we have an x-axis section. And there's new features in each one of these also, and we'll go through those one by one in various videos. For example, if I wanted the values of, let's say, the y-axis, notice that it's already started out horizontal, which is probably more appropriate, but let's say I wanted those numbers bigger. I could go ahead and set those. Let's set those to 40. Notice those get really big, but nothing else changes. So we'll go ahead and make it something that's a little bit better. Let's just say 32. Same with the x-axis. I could come down here and I could change the orientation, and it doesn't impact the y-axis, doesn't impact the data values. I'm going to leave that diagonal, and then I'm going to leave it the same size. But I can also change the font type, so I can have different font types also. So it just gives you a lot more control over what you have as far as settings on the x-axis, the y-axis, and the data values. Now what I will also say is that within each chart type, some of these change a little bit. So this is on a vertical bar chart. If I was on a horizontal bar chart, some of these options would change, and my y and x-axis would probably have different settings that I could set up because the orientation and expectations of the chart are a little bit different. But a big step forward for those of you who want fine-grained control over all the axes and the way labels are presented in your charts.